Take a long look at that diploma you are holding in your hand or have hung on your wall. Is that piece of paper an indicator of your status, or is it a certificate of obedience given to you by a system whose expiration date has long passed? Every morning, we wake millions of children up from the sweetest part of their sleep. We put them on yellow buses, subways, cars, and cram them into concrete buildings. Then the bell rings. Like Pavlov's dog, everyone who hears the bell sits down at the same time. Facing them is a weary adult, rushing to catch up with the curriculum, and the system commands the children. You will all learn the same thing, at the same speed, at the same time. Don't wonder, just memorize. Don't question, just solve the test. Let me tell you a painful truth. This system was not designed to educate you. This system was designed to produce obedient workers for the steam-powered factories of the 19th century, who start work on time, execute commands without questioning, and screw bolts flawlessly onto products passing on the assembly line. Schools are the ghosts of the Industrial Revolution, and we, in the 21st century, in a digital age, are still trying to raise children with the mentality of the 1800s. However, these rusty gears are no longer turning, because those factories don't exist anymore. Robots are screwing those bolts, algorithms are processing those data, and now, those algorithms have arrived at the door of one of the most sacred institutions in human history, the school. Artificial intelligence is coming to hunt these ghosts. Welcome to Blue Glass. Today, we are planning the funeral of the education system, or perhaps the rebirth of the human mind, freed from its biological limits. If you are ready, the final school bell is ringing. We cannot build the future without understanding why the current system has to collapse. Do you know what the biggest sin of the current education system is? It is based on the average human. Imagine a classroom. There are 30 students. One understands math intuitively and is dying of boredom. The other is listening to what is being told like it's Chinese, because they missed the previous topic and feels stupid. What does the teacher do? They are forced to appeal to the average. They slow down the fast one and leave the slow one behind. We call this inequality of opportunity in education, but actually this is a mass mental slaughter. It is the waste of potential for the sake of standardization. Isn't it tragicomic that a high school student today memorizes the curriculum of 50 years ago for professions that might not even exist in 10 years? Is being able to write Napoleon's birth date on an exam paper a sign of intelligence? When the phone in your pocket can access this information in 0.1 seconds, why do we use the human brain like a hard drive? This is exactly where artificial intelligence, AI, steps in. And no, I'm not talking about smart boards or distributing tablets. AI destroys the mass structure of education and makes it personal. The AI tutor in front of you is not just a screen giving information. It is a psychologist watching you, a data scientist analyzing you. Think about it. The camera on your tablet tracks your pupils. Did your pupils shrink while listening to a topic? Is there a hesitation in your tone of voice? AI notices this instantly. It says, I guess you didn't understand this part, but that's okay. I know you love football. Let's examine this rule of physics again through the spin of a football. Are you bored? It turns the lesson into a game. Is your visual memory strong? It doesn't make you read text, it explains the topic with animation. Are you auditory? It teaches by chatting with you. This means, for the first time in history, offering that legendary one-on-one private education Aristotle gave to Alexander the Great to billions of children around the world, even to a child in the poorest region, almost for free. This isn't just a technological development. This means opening the floodgates in front of human intelligence. Now come, let's dream a little and look at how this technology could carry us to a utopia. In this scenario, those gloomy concrete buildings, namely schools, don't exist anymore. Even if they do, their functions are completely different. School transforms from a data center where information is uploaded into a community and creativity center, where children socialize, play sports, act in plays, and design robots. Because the learning information part is handled at home or anywhere by AI. So, what about teachers? Will they be unemployed? No, teachers will be promoted. They no longer have to be information transmitters, meaning walking encyclopedias. They are now mentors, life coaches. Your teacher won't waste time explaining derivatives to you. AI already does that flawlessly. Your teacher will inspire you on how to design an energy model that will solve the climate crisis using that derivative. They will teach you not what to think, but how to synthesize data, ethical values, and collaboration. Exam stress, it becomes completely history. Because since AI tracks your learning process second by second, there is no need to put you into a single exam at the end of the year and label you as successful, unsuccessful. The process itself is already an evaluation. This system is the democratization of human potential. A genius child living in a village in the Amazon rainforest will be able to access an education of exactly the same quality at the Harvard level as a child born in New York just because they are lucky. Imagine millions of lost geniuses who have Einstein level intelligence but rot away in the fields being included in the system. Humanity might find the cure for cancer, the journey to Mars, or fusion energy thanks to this. A global garden of minds where everyone blooms at their own speed according to their own talent. Sounds magnificent, doesn't it? But this is blue glass. And we know that the stones of every road promised to be paradise usually lead to a hell paved with good intentions. Handing over education, meaning the power to shape the minds of future generations, to AI, means leaving this power to the initiative of the giant tech companies that code that AI. First big danger: indoctrination and monopoly on truth. AI is not neutral. Whatever the dataset training it is, AI is that. Whose algorithm will tell your child about history, philosophy, or ethics? The worldview of a group of engineers in Silicon Valley, or the censored data of an authoritarian state? If the algorithm tells your child, event X never happened in history, or ideology Y is the truest, the child will accept this as absolute truth, because the authority in front of them is a machine that knows everything. This could be the biggest, most insidious, and most personalized propaganda tool history has ever seen. It has never been this easy to mold the masses into a single shape. Second danger: emotional fragility and the death of social skills. If a child gets used to learning with an AI that is always kind, always patient, instantly understands whatever they want, and constantly cuddles them throughout their life, how will they cope with rude, impatient, uncomprehending, and flawed humans in the real world? Children saying, "My teacher, AI, understands me, but you don't understand me, mom." We might create a glass generation that cannot cope with the chaos of human relationships, falls apart at the slightest no answer, is narcissistic and intolerant. And the most terrible, most realistic danger: new class divide. In the future, education will split in two fronts, and this divide won't be with access to technology, but with access to humans. Rich elites will send their children to luxury boutique schools free of technology, where there are real human teachers, eye contact is made, discussions are held, trees are climbed, and philosophy is done. The middle and lower class will sit their children in front of a tablet and hand them over to a cheap, standard AI nanny drowned in advertisements. Human contact and real guidance will become the world's most expensive luxury. While the rich learn to lead, empathy, and strategy, the masses will learn to work in harmony with algorithms and to obey. The digital divide will close, but the human divide will deepen. Let's wrap it up. AI will take over education. This is an inevitable river flow. The traditional school building will turn into a nostalgic memory, as much as a typewriter, as much as a payphone. But the question we really need to ask, the question that should keep us awake at night, is this: if the AI in our pocket knows everything better than us, do we need to learn anything? When the machine can translate in every language, why should you learn a foreign language? When it can write code, why should you learn Python? When it can summarize history in a second, why should you read a book? This is the biggest existential test in front of humanity. Will we learn to use the machine, or will we learn the only thing the machine can never do? To be human, to produce meaning, and the love of wisdom. Maybe the education of the future won't be based on formulas and dates, but on empathy, aesthetics, philosophy, and art. because those metal boxes do everything else much better than us. Now I ask you, would you entrust your child's education to a patient robot that has all the information in the world but no soul? Or to a flawed teacher who makes mistakes, sometimes gets angry, but has human warmth? I know what your answer is, but I don't know if your wallet will be enough for it in 10 years. Thanks for watching Blue Glass. Never stop learning, because algorithms never sleep.